Now, protecting our family's financial future is one of the most loving things that we can do for them, but knowing how to do just that, it isn't always clear. And here to give us some important guidance on how we can protect our loved ones is our good friend from Omaha, Nebraska, Senior Vice President at Physicians Mutual, Bob Gunia is here.
Welcome back, Bob.
Everybody loves when you come to visit.
It's great to be back, and it's a treat to be here in person on your first week of season 9.
Certainly
Is right. I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way.
Of course not.
We would not have it any other way. It's great to
Thank
see
you. It's good to
On
be
that
here.
note, let's check in. How are you doing? How's your family? How's everybody at Physicians Mutual doing? Especially, during this challenging time. There's got to be some serious challenges.
Yeah, family's doing well. Happy. We had a COVID wedding in April, so our daughter got married, and she's doing wonderful in small groups, so doing fine. Physicians Mutual, we did a real concerted effort to get people to work remotely so we can continue to service our policy owners. And the one thing that remains the same in a good way is that the connection and how important it is. And so people call Physicians Mutual and we're servicing their policies. But what we've learned is we're doing something more. We're servicing that humanity in the sense of the connection where our conversation could be the only conversation they have in a particular day.
Yeah.
So that's very, very important. It's something that you share. The reason why you're back here and with the home and family audience is that this human connection is so very, very important for our health and well-being.
That's true.
Doing it in a safe and prudent way.
That's true. And I imagine this pandemic has had a real impact on the way that people actually view insurance, especially life insurance right now.
It has, and so there's increased interest in life insurance, and we see it in particular after a crisis. And so we go back to 9/11, life insurance sales went up significantly, and that was over 20 years ago. So as a company, we can see how claims have increased over the last 5 years or so as a result of those increased sales. Today, with the pandemic, people are thinking about that legacy of love for their families, and people are also still turning 65, and decisions have to be made in terms of what policies and what benefits are at play. So it is very much a part of people's mind, the importance of life insurance.
For sure.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions, no doubt about it. So out of all the questions that are coming your way, what would you say is the top question that you're getting about life insurance?
We are getting a lot of questions about life insurance, and the question that we're getting today is in fact the same question that we get every year. It's the difference between term and whole life insurance.
Right.
People don't understand what's the difference in those two life insurance policies, and the price is different. So the best way for me to understand it is that looking at term insurance as renting insurance. So you're renting insurance for a particular period of time. Typically, it has a higher face amount. Typically, the premiums are lower because you're getting it at a younger age, and you're just insuring for that particular period of time. Whole life insurance is life insurance that stays with you throughout life.
Right.
And so it never goes away. It can cost a little bit more, but it builds up cash value. For me, my first life insurance policy that I purchased was a term life insurance right when I got my first real job. And I thought, oh, I'm set for life. Here's a 25-year plan, and I don't need to worry about it. Well, I'm now coming up on a milestone birthday. Well, now I have to worry about that 25-year plan because I'm almost towards the end of that term. And so I need to look into how do I convert that term policy into a whole life policy. And so for anybody out there that's in a similar situation, it sneaks up on you that you buy this term and you're like, well, now I need something else to take me throughout the rest of my life.
That's the truth.
Well, happy 40th birthday.
Thank you.
There you go. It's coming
That's
up, right?
right.
Doesn't
That beat me
look a
to
day
it.
over
So
35.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
right.
So,
You're so honest. I really appreciate
so
that.
then what should people take into consideration when considering whether they even need life insurance?
Yeah. One thing is the final expenses. So the immediate expenses after someone passes away, and you think of a memorial service or a funeral service, the average funeral expense is $8,500, and in particular where you live, sometimes it could be much more than that. So people are looking a way to find a way to finance those particular expenses. You could also have monthly bills, or you need to pay off a car, and so things that to really put an estate in order so that the family members don't have to pick that up. That's where that legacy of love comes into play.
Yeah, that's a lot of
That'd be
money.
tough.
Funeral expenses, obviously a great reason to have life insurance, but what are some of the other good reasons? Because there are a real list.
Yeah, and so, going back to my personal experience with the term life insurance policies, I wanted to make sure if something happened to me, and if you have a spouse that works from home and raising the family, that they're able to continue to do that after you pass away. And so there are a lot of financial situations that make life insurance an essential, where just in 2019, there was a life insurance study that 4 out of 10 people would not be able to support their family immediately. So we're not talking like being able to weather the storm for months, like right at the spot, they would need some financial support. And so that becomes very important is to replace those dollars there. And about 55% of Americans own life insurance. And so it is important to consider life insurance to protect some of the bigger financial decisions for your family.
You said 55%. That seems low to me because, I mean, after everything you just said to me, why is it then that so many people still don't have life insurance?
Good question. When we survey folks and the industry serves folks, everybody wants life insurance, but there's a couple things that keep them from pursuing. One, they don't think they can afford it. And two, they think if they reach a certain age, they're not going to be able to get it. Life insurance is much more affordable than people may think. You could get life insurance policy as low as $13 a month, depending upon your situation.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it is something to explore. At Physicians Mutual, we have a life insurance calculator. You can go out to physiciansmutual.com and explore what your options are to see whether or not something is affordable for you.
It's
So
not
you can
as
still,
expensive as they think.
yeah, exactly. You can still get an affordable life insurance policy later in life, is what you're saying.
So good point. So yeah, you think of affordability when you're younger.
Yeah.
It's also possible to get an affordable life insurance policy when you're older. Okay. At our company, we sell a lot of guaranteed issue life insurance policies, and it could be from people in their 60s to 65. You think of someone who's retiring from work and they were counting on their group life insurance, but that goes away when you retire. And so when you're heading into those retirement years, there are options to find life insurance that would be affordable and cover those final expenses.
Bob, you always make all of this so easy to understand, and we so appreciate you for that. Any final words before we go?
A good piece of advice at any time is to make sure that your beneficiary listing on your insurance policy is up to date.
Yeah.
We do get inquiries and questions from beneficiaries, some who thought that maybe they should have been the recipient of the life insurance proceeds and they weren't, or you could have changes in the family structure where maybe someone is the beneficiary, but then maybe they're no longer a part of that family unit. And so it's important if you have a life insurance policy to make sure your life insurance carrier knows your intentions on where you want those proceeds to go.
Such good advice, such great insights, Bob. We love it when you visit. It's great to see you.
I love being here.
For many reasons.
You guys are awesome.
You're the best, Bob. All right, everybody, for more information on life insurance, be sure to visit physiciansmutual.com. You will not be disappointed.